Damn, that's sad. So basically, in average, without lighter, Sojourn 11 is literally just a niche character now, same as like Grace and Nakumata. And Harumasa mains, don't get relaxed. Because Harumasa mains, you're next. You're literally next in the line. What's up guys, Hyun here. Another day of no content Hyun. So I had to do a tier list video about Pride Win. Cause why not? I've been busy lately so I haven't been streaming, so that's why there's no content lately. No, you know what I mean. Daddy gotta make his money, you know? Anyways, today we're gonna look at Pride Win's tier list. So this tier list is a bit different from like the normal tier list that we have in Zenless. So in this tier list, the Deadly Assault and Shield Defense is actually mixed now on this. I think this is only exception on this tier list because from the info that I gathered, it seems like Shiyu and DA have the same, have the same result, so they just mix it up together. But we will see on the changelog what is the real reason. So let's get into it. By the way, before I forgot to say, like, comment, and subscribe down below what you think about this tier list. And I don't wanna see you guys complaining about Pride Win. If you're gonna complain about Pride Win, don't do it on my comment section, okay? Don't do it in comment section because you guys keep complaining about Pride Win, and I wanna make this Pride Win video. Okay? If you are gonna complain about Pride Win, at least like give me a source that is more like that is a website that is doing Zona Zone Zero tier list that is more fair than your guys' biases. Okay, I don't care. I'm gonna do Pride Win video if you like it or not. Okay. Anyways, the same roll call. We're not gonna be biased on this tier list. We're gonna be neutral. I'm gonna say what I think and why this character go down or where this character go up. Okay, that's usually the normal stuff that we're gonna do when we look at this tier list. So without further ado, let's get into this. Okay, before we get into it, like I always say, Zenless Zero is a combat game, so, or skill based game, so it doesn't, it's not like HSR where it's turn based game and you cannot dash or like parry and stuff. In Zenless you can, so there's more game expression or combat expression in this game, so make sure to keep a lookout on that one. So don't compare HSR tier list to freaking Zenless tier list and your freaking power creep and stuff. That doesn't, like, what happened in HSR doesn't happen on Zenless. There's two different situations there. Okay, anyways, let's get into this. Let's look. Okay, Apex characters, let's see what changes. Okay, Miyabi still on tier 0, the two lighter and Magoi Trigger is also on tier 0, of course. No matter how you guys defend Qingyi, Trigger is much better than Qingyi, okay? Shut the fuck up. I'm not biased. It just makes sense. It's much better. And also comfy to play next to other attack characters. Like, you don't have to use Trigger all the time on field. So that's why it's comfy to use her. So it makes sense that she's still there. And I mean, Qingyi, I feel like Qingyi should be on tier 0 still, even the fact that Trigger is much better than her, in my opinion. But hey. Okay, Astra is still on tier 0, and ooh, big changes. Big changes. Caesar is now down below on tier 0.5. I don't know why. Is it because of Pan Yinhu becoming giving us another defense physical character? Is Pan Yinhu gonna power creep my girl Caesar? We don't know, but I don't know why Caesar go down though, because Caesar gives a lot of stuff. He gives a lot, like a big buff and also like a big shield. I don't know why she goes down on tier 0.5, but we will see on the changelog later. And also big changes. Vivian on tier 0.5 makes sense. And you know what's sad about this? Jane Doe didn't go up. Jane Doe didn't go up at all, even though Vivian is in tier 0.5. Because Vivian made Jane Doe much better. Vivian made Jane Doe great again, basically. And I don't know why. At least give us like, like at least like T0.0 maybe. Then put Jane Doe there alone because Kim Vivian made Jane Doe so OP. I mean, I guess Vivian also made Viper OP as heck. I mean, these two is basically the same character. If like if we have M6 Viper, compared to like M0 Jane Doe. Okay, there's no changes. I think this is the only big changes that we have right now. Now on like the meta characters, same as usual. Pulchra is still down here. I guess Pulchra didn't really give us much impact when she got released. I'm quite sad about Pulchra. I mean, I use Pulchra. I wish it could be much better than M6. I wonder how is she gonna work on future content or future end games, because we all know on hoyoverse game, if there's like this certain character or certain like 4-star or A rank character that is still relevant until the future, like Bennett or something like that, like Pella on HSR or Gallagher, and I feel like those, like the Bennett or like the Gallagher in Zenless Zone Zero is still gonna be like Lucy and Nicole. I feel like it's not gonna change. I do hope we have like at least a stunner that is like very good, that is like tier 0.5, but I guess it's not gonna happen. There's no big changes. I think yeah, the only changes is like my girl Alan goes down. Sadly, I can't I can't deny. Like on the current shield defense and deadly assault, Ellen just doesn't work very well. I mean, she works at the marionette boss on DA, but she doesn't really work on like on Bringer, because Bringer is built for Miyabi and she cannot really like perform very well. And on shield defense also, I feel like the shield defense is not really related to Ellen, and the buff is also very how should I say this, very leaning into physical and ether buff, or ether side, ether and physical side. But I think in the next cycle of Shiyu, we're gonna have a buff for ice. I wonder if Ellen is gonna go up on tier 1.5 after that. But we will see, we will see. Same as ever, nothing changes. I still feel like Magro Sokaku should go down at least until 0.5, based on, I mean, that's just my opinion, but it's just so, it sucks using her. Even though I use her on like my Miyabi team, and just to buff like Miyabi's eyes, just sucks using her, no? Doesn't feel good. I would rather use these two, Lucy or a girl Nicole, to do damage, to do big damage. And I wonder what's this tag here, like the partner tag. We will see this later, but there's still no changes on niche characters also. I hope Billy goes on tier 0, or tier not tier 0 but tier 2, because I feel like it's like the Billy's like, Kit as M6 is too, like, she's too strong as M6, especially in the game right now where you can clearly clear with Billy, which is crazy. But hey, I feel like Billy should go up. And I feel like Gray should go up also, because her value actually did a lot of stuff, or like her value, I think, goes up because of Vivian, because she benefits a lot on Vivian. I saw this one run using Grace, crazy freaking damage with Vivian. Vivian literally like making like these characters great again. But Nekomata just stayed there. I feel like Anton should go up on tier 3. I use Anton lately. Holy Anton. Even though I don't like playing you, holy, your damage is crazy. But yeah, mostly no changes. Let's now look at the change log. But before that, let's look at the roles first, because I think there's some changes on the tags partner. There we go. Characters with tags are assessed with best team as normal, but have the necessity to include a specific limited S rank in that team that makes them perform much better than any other option. Without the specific teammate, the character may see a significant drop in performance, lowering their tier list ranking one or multiple tiers. I see. So basically, Soldier 11 needs a specific character to improve her damage, and it's an S rank character. Is it Trigger? Whose character is Pride when talking about? Is this Trigger? Because I feel like Trigger is the only character that can, work with her and give her additional damage. I guess lighter. Yeah, I feel like lighter or like a Trigger should be that specific character maybe. I don't know. They didn't include it. But let's see the change logs. Okay. Vivian added to the tier list. There's 0.5 DPS. Soldier 0 and the wishlist remove. After further testing compiling data, we include S0 and B performance even on Trigger's team does not get her approach Miyabi's power level, therefore she won't be moving for now. That's quite sad. A lot of people are saying like Soldier Zero and is like same as Miyabi. But I always say this, no. Like Soldier Zero and Ambi cannot go to the same power level as Miyabi. Even freaking Evelyn. I feel like Evelyn can get close to Miyabi's power level. But the thing is, Miyabi is too strong. And I wonder how Yishuan is gonna work. Because it's 100% gonna be Yishuan is gonna be another tier 0 character. That's my prediction for the next tier list because Yishuan is another, just lore wise, another like void rank level character, and also she is like one of like the key characters. Like on HSR we have like Acheron, Firefly, those are like the key characters that is too strong. Then on like freaking Furious we got like freaking Castoris that is too strong also, like those key characters. And I feel like on like season 1 Miyabi is the key character that is Void Hunter and also very strong. And I feel like on season 2 Yishuan is also gonna be one of those key characters that is freaking too strong. And I feel like Yishuan is gonna debut as like tier 0 character. I wonder how is it gonna work because Miyabi right now her ceiling is too far for other attack characters to like get close to. But I wonder how Yishuan is gonna go like compete with Miyabi's damage because we still don't know anything about like the new role and the new like element from what we see on the drip marketing. I think you guys saw the leaks and stuff. I didn't see it, but I feel like you guys already know it, but don't say it on comments. I don't want to see it, but yeah. I wonder how Yishuan is gonna work on the next tier list. I'm very excited how she's gonna destroy the Zenless Zone Zero ceiling of like characters. How she gonna power creep the previous DPS that we got. Okay, this is the big one that I'm very confused about. Caesar tier 0 to tier 0.5. Caesar's placement has been in flux for multiple phases now, with many questioning her place at the top of the meta, us included. So this patch we're making changes. Caesar's score unfortunately does not get Astro level, and discrepancy is enough where dropping her to tier 0 is unfortunately warranted. However, note that she remains the most comfortable support character to use in any teams thanks to her huge sustain ability and interruption resistant even over Astrael. I wonder if this is because survivability in the game right now is not the top priority. The thing is, Astrael's buff is strong, like very strong, that it can make other characters like damage like crazy. And I wonder if survivability or like big damage versus survivability, who should you pick? And right now I feel like on the current meta, big damage is very like that's where the meta is leaning on. So I'm guessing that's the reason why did go down, because nobody's gonna use Caesar. So you're gonna only use Caesar to get like small decent buff and also a big survivability if like the end game doesn't really favor like big I mean it favors big damage, but it doesn't favor like, let's say like the end game is like taking longer and the freaking enemy hits like a truck or something, so you need survivability character. And right now from what I see on Shea Defense NDA, you don't really need Caesar. You don't need Caesar. I literally have not been using Caesar for how many. I mean, I use Caesar for endgame sometimes, but I haven't been using her like a lot. So I would rather use other characters than Caesar. So I guess that's why. Because in survivability, Caesar really works on tower instead of like DA or like Shiyu. Quite sad, but it makes sense, I guess. So, Ellen tier 1.5 to tier 2, my girl. Ellen's performance, recent shield defense, especially DA cycle have been lowered compared to few months. Over time, this has accumulated to where her average performance voice is closer to that Soldier 11 than Harumasa. For this reason, she is unfortunately joining her in that tier, but know that neither are unviable and can perform well that are still in the meta characters bracket. I mean, it makes sense. Harumasa's like Harumasa makes sense that Harumasa goes up because like lately on DA, like if you saw like the DA, it's been like favoring like electric characters lately and especially like like disorder teams. If you saw like the DA. Ellen cannot really perform on that environment. I mean, Ellen can perform on like ice bosses like Marionette or like Bringer. But the thing is, if you wanna get like top performance on DA with Ellen, Marionette is the best boss for that. But the thing is, with Harumasa, literally Harumasa have three bosses that he can like work. Like he can work with those three bosses like easily, which is makes sense that Harumasa's place goes up. And also with Shi defense, not really favoring Ice lately. Quite sad. I do hope like next cycle Ellen's performance goes up, at least on Harumasa's level. But we will see, we will see. Soldier 11 partner tag. We deem Soldier 11 as her first proper character to deserve partner tag and really. Oh, okay, with later. Okay. Who gives her quick access to extended stun windows and huge damage boosts would improve her performance significantly. Without lighter, Soldier 11 can be considered as joining the niche character bracket. Damn! So without lighter, Soldier 11 is a niche character. Wow. But note that with this aid, she will perform very well. Damn, that's sad. So basically, in average, without lighter, Soldier 11 is literally just a niche character now. Same as like Grace and Nakumata. And that's crazy. That's a crazy news on like Pride Wins tier list. But hey, that's all for today's tier list for Pride Win. Comment down below what you think. Honestly, not that surprised. I'm more surprised about Caesar. And I'm more intrigued on like freaking Soldier 11's partner tag because damn, now that I saw like why they changed why they put like the partner tag on Soldier 11, it makes sense. It makes sense. It's quite sad for Soldier 11 mains. I love Soldier 11, but damn, still sad that she's going to a niche character. And Harumasa mains, don't get relaxed because Harumasa mains, you're next. You're literally next in the line. Ellen Joe is not even the next in the line for like to get to be on like the niche characters. I know Harumasa is gonna be the next one, and I will say this always: Harumasa is gonna be the next one. He's gonna get a Soldier 11 treatment soon, and get ready for that, Harumasa mains. I'm gonna flame you guys. Okay, stop rage baiting now. Thank you guys for watching and see you guys later. Bye.